Cody is a ridiculously talented athlete.
Tonight's video is one you absolutely cannot miss. What began as a highly anticipated championship showdown between two of WWE's most intense superstars, as what was expected to be the culmination of a long-standing rivalry between Cody Rhodes and Kevin Owens, escalated into an act of brutality that no one saw coming. The stakes were incredibly high for this encounter. Cody Rhodes, the undisputed WWE champion, had just put his title on the line against Kevin Owens, a man known for his volatile and unpredictable style. Fans were expecting a grueling, physical contest. After all, Owens thrives on chaos and destruction. However, what they didn't expect was a shocking turn of events that would leave the WWE Universe reeling and questioning everything they thought they knew about both superstars. From the start, the match had all the makings of an instant classic. Cody Rhodes, the defending champion, had been on a tear since winning the title, overcoming countless obstacles along the way. His resilience had made him a fan favorite, and he seemed determined to prove that his reign as champion was no fluke. On the other hand, Kevin Owens had been fighting for respect and recognition for years, but despite his talent, he had never quite reached the pinnacle of WWE success. This was Owens's chance to prove that he belonged at the top, and he was willing to go to any lengths to make it happen. The match itself was nothing short of brutal. Both men showcased their immense physicality, with Owens taking the fight to Rhodes with hard-hitting strikes, powerbombs, and his signature pop-up powerbomb. Rhodes, however, refused to back down, answering Owens's aggression with his own combination of agility, technical wrestling, and raw power. The match was filled with near falls, high-impact moves, and intense exchanges that kept the crowd on the edge of their seats. The WWE Universe was locked in, unsure of who would come out on top. As the match neared its conclusion, it seemed like Owens was closing in on victory. After a devastating superplex, Owens covered Rhodes for what seemed like a sure pin. The referee's hand came down for the third count, but in a shocking twist, Rhodes kicked out at the very last possible moment. The crowd erupted in surprise, and Owens, visibly frustrated, couldn't believe what had just happened. In that moment, it seemed like Owens had lost his focus. His frustration was palpable, and it appeared that the loss had pushed him to a breaking point. This would be the opening that Cody Rhodes needed. Taking advantage of Owens's lapse in focus, Rhodes seized control of the match and quickly delivered his finishing move, the Crossroads, to Owens. The impact was devastating. With Owens lying motionless on the mat, Rhodes covered him for the pin, and the referee counted. 1, 2, 3. The bell rang, and Cody Rhodes retained his undisputed WWE Championship. The arena erupted into cheers, with fans celebrating Rhodes's hard-fought victory. But what happened next would forever change the course of this rivalry. Kevin Owens, who had just suffered a crushing defeat, was visibly shaken. As Rhodes stood tall, basking in the glory of his victory, Owens lay on the mat, staring up at the ceiling. His face twisted in frustration and disbelief. The roar of the crowd, celebrating Rhodes's victory, quickly turned into murmurs of concern. Owens, battered and bruised, stood up slowly. But there was something in his eyes, something dark. The intensity and anger were undeniable, and before anyone could fully process what was happening, Owens snapped. In an instant, Owens charged at Rhodes, who was still recovering from the grueling match. What followed was a violent, unprovoked assault that caught everyone off guard. Owens, fueled by his anger and frustration, began attacking Rhodes with a series of brutal punches and stomps. The champion, who had just fought so hard to retain his title, was helpless as Owens unloaded on him. The audience could only watch in stunned silence, unsure of what to make of the situation. Owens had crossed a line, and the brutal nature of his attack left the WWE Universe in shock. But Owens wasn't finished. In an even more disturbing twist, he set his sights on something far darker, a piledriver. For those who know WWE's history, the piledriver is one of the most dangerous and controversial moves in professional wrestling. The move is banned in many promotions due to its potential to cause serious neck and spinal injuries. Yet, in a moment of pure rage, Owens executed the piledriver on Rhodes with vicious precision. The sound of Rhodes's head slamming into the mat echoed throughout the arena, sending a wave of panic through the crowd. Rhodes lay motionless in the ring, his neck twisted unnaturally, and the severity of the situation became painfully clear. Medical staff rushed to the ring, their urgency evident as they began tending to Rhodes. Fans, still in shock, had no idea whether this was part of the storyline or if Owens had truly gone too far. WWE's commitment to telling intense, high-stakes stories had always been clear, but this was different. This didn't feel like entertainment. It felt like a real-life act of violence. As WWE officials scrambled to assess the situation, WWE's chief content officer, Triple H, took to social media to address the shocking incident. His statement was direct and forceful. "What happened tonight was completely uncalled for. We expect our superstars to compete with intensity, but this was an act of violence that crosses a line." The gravity of Owens's actions was undeniable, and Triple H made it clear that WWE would not tolerate such behavior. While the company would continue to support Rhodes as he underwent medical evaluation, the focus quickly shifted to Owens and the potential consequences of his actions. In an unexpected twist, Triple H revealed that Kevin Owens wasn't walking away from the night unscathed either. Although Owens had just attacked Rhodes in brutal fashion, Owens had also sustained significant injuries during the match. The revelation that Owens was injured raised even more questions. How severe were his injuries? How would they affect the trajectory of this storyline? And most importantly, what would this mean for the future of the Owens-Rhodes rivalry? Owens' injuries added an extra layer of complexity to an already volatile situation. While he had just unleashed chaos on Rhodes, he was now facing the prospect of dealing with his own physical limitations. Would his injuries hinder him in the ongoing feud with Rhodes, or would they only fuel the fire of his obsession with proving himself? Fans were left to wonder whether Owens, having crossed a line with his actions, would back down, or if he would continue to escalate the situation, regardless of his personal toll. Meanwhile, Cody Rhodes' future was now uncertain. The severity of the piledriver attack and the damage it had inflicted on his neck and spine could have long-term consequences. Would Rhodes be able to defend his championship in the near future? Was his reign as undisputed champion in jeopardy? With the fate of both superstars hanging in the balance, the WWE Universe could only speculate on what would happen next. The fallout from Owens' actions was swift and widespread. Fans were divided, with some rallying behind Owens, seeing his violent actions as a manifestation of his frustration with being overlooked. To them, Owens had been pushed too far, and his attack was a result of years of fighting for recognition that he felt he had never received. On the other hand, there were fans who were appalled by Owens' behavior, seeing it as cowardly and unsportsmanlike. His unprovoked assault on Rhodes not only jeopardized the safety of another wrestler, but also violated the integrity of WWE's competition. As for the medical evaluation of Rhodes, it remained unclear how long it would take for him to recover from the devastating piledriver. While WWE officials worked tirelessly to assess the damage, the champion's immediate future was up in the air. Fans were left wondering whether Rhodes would seek revenge on Owens, or whether he would focus on defending his title against new challengers. Either way, the damage had been done, and the WWE Universe was left in suspense, eagerly awaiting the next chapter in this heated rivalry. As the dust settled from the chaos that unfolded on Saturday night, one thing became crystal clear. The WWE landscape had been forever altered. What had started as a straightforward championship contest had transformed into a brutal, personal feud between two of WWE's top superstars. The events that transpired had raised the stakes to an unprecedented level, and both Owens and Rhodes had proven that they were willing to do whatever it took to claim victory. Now, the WWE Universe is left wondering, what happens next? Will Owens face severe repercussions for his actions, or will he find a way to turn the tables and continue his pursuit of respect? Will Cody Rhodes recover in time to defend his title, or will his reign be cut short by the brutal assault he endured? As both superstars grapple with the aftermath of the attack, The next chapter in their rivalry promises to be just as intense, if not more so, than what has already unfolded. One thing is for certain: the world of WWE will never be the same after this shocking turn of events. The lines between hero and villain have blurred, and both Owens and Rhodes are now on paths that will define their careers in ways that no one could have predicted. The journey ahead is filled with uncertainty, but it will undoubtedly be one that fans will never forget.